Trump deported in his first term. The man who served as Obama's ICE director is the same person Trump has tapped to be his border czar. And Tom Homan is my source and joins me tonight. And Mr. Homan, it's great to have you. Thank you for being here on the program tonight, because we are closing in on the inauguration. So when it comes to this major campaign promise, you've been working on that plan. Is the plan done and ready to go at this point?
No, I'm still working on it. I got the general framework written up, and I'm working with other folks on it. But by the time the inauguration happens, the plan will be baked, and we'll be ready to launch the day of the inauguration.
How much of it would you say is done so far? What does that process look like?
Well, look, I'm looking at the number of people that were released in the United States by this administration. I'm looking at how many of aliens have been already deported by the Immigration Court, how many are out on ATD that have orders, how many are currently in detention that have orders, and looking at what the level, the time level of some of the hearings are going to be in certain jurisdictions of the country. How many criminal aliens?
Yeah.
We know there's over 700,000 illegal aliens with criminal convictions on the streets of this country. So that'll, of course, be a priority. So I'm looking at a lot of different data sets to figure out where and when and how we're going to do this.
So how many days after Trump is sworn in before this effort to carry out the mass deportations begins? I know you said it starts on day one, but after how many days will we actually start to see that happening?
Day one. Day one will be ICE officers across the country will be out on the streets. Right out of the gate, President has made it clear, and I've made it clear, the priority right out of the gate is public safety threats and national security threats. And there's plenty of them to find, right? I looked at the data under the Biden administration. The deportation of criminal aliens have decreased 74%. So we have all those folks that the Biden administration failed to deport, plus you got this over 10 million encounters on the southern border that they came across. We got a lot of them to look for too. So the public safety threats are plenty, and it's going to keep us busy.
You worked under President Obama, as I noted. He actually gave you the government's highest civil service award at one point in your time there. As you know, he deported a lot of people. His highest number was just over 400,000 in a year. How many do you expect to deport this time?
I don't know the answer to that question because I'm not in the administration. I mean, we don't have control. I don't know what the budget is. I don't know how many. For instance, I know that ICE is $300 million in the hole right now. We need Congress to give us some money to get this done because I don't know how many resources I have. I don't know how much money I'm going to have to buy beds. I don't know how much money I'm going to have to buy transportation contracts. That's why it's imperative on Congress in reconciliation to give us money we need to do this. I think the mandate given by the American people from the election is they want this done. A majority of Americans think this is the right thing to do. A vast majority of Americans think public safety threats that are here illegally should be removed. So it all depends on the funding I get from the Hill.
So you haven't gotten any briefings from people at the Department of Homeland Security right now to tell you what that looks like as far as the number of ICE agents or the number of beds available to you?
No, I know the current number of beds available. I know how many agents are out there right now, but I'm looking, we need many more detention beds than what are currently available. I mean, on the Trump administration, we had over 55,000 people in detention at any given day, and they're down to less than 30,000 now. So I know there's a certain amount of beds that are available, but we're going to need many more beds. The landing teams have just started working with the agencies and departments, so we'll be gathering information, a lot of information the next couple of weeks, which will help me in my planning process.
How many more beds do you think you'll need?
We need at least 100,000 beds, and because of beds will turn over within 30 days, which gives us a free bed every day. But I'm not going to put a limit on it. I'm talking the minimum. We need 100,000 beds because we got a big population to look for, and 700,000 criminals alone. And
ICE has about 6,000 deportation officers nationwide. Tell me if that number is different than the numbers that I looked into. How many more deportation officers do you believe that you would need for what you want to carry out here?
Look, the bottom line is the more I got, the more I can do. So it's just over 6,000 ERO officers. Well, let's remember you got over 8,000 HSI officers who are also ICE officers who also have Title 8 authority, immigration authority. We're looking for help from other agencies. We're looking for help, and I've been clear on this. I'd like to see DOD assist us. DOD has assisted just about every presidential administration, so DOD could be a force multiplier. The men and women of ICE that carry a badge and gun that are doing administrative duties like processing and transportation and infrastructure building, if we can get DOD to help us, that frees those badge and guns up to get to the street to arrest the bad guys. So it all depends what I have available day one, and we're working on that now.
And will you ask the military for planes to help with those flights as well?
Absolutely. I'll ask them for help in transportation on ground and in the air. They have a lot of planes, and I think this is, I think what's happened on our southern border in the last 4 years is the biggest national security vulnerability this country's seen. Even the FBI director agrees with that. So I think DOD has a perfect role in protecting our national security. Now, they're not going to be out arresting people, but they can be a force multiplier in doing things that we need them to do that doesn't require a badge and a gun.
Okay, you say they won't be out arresting people. That's an important point. On this effort overall, in terms of what you believe you need, and you're obviously deeply familiar with how this works and what's ahead of you, you had previously said about $86 billion was the minimum this project will cost. Do you have a better estimate now as you've been developing your plan?
I never said $86 billion. That was a CNN reporter that said $86 billion. I don't know what that number is right now. Again, we're working on the plan. Again, it depends on how many resources I have and what the cost is going to be. But I'll say this, $86 billion, I mean, what price you put on the young women that have been murdered and raped in this country? What price you put on, the lives of all these little girls that, there's numerous cases. What price you put on national security? Because we know a record number of people on terrorist watch that's been called on the southern border. We also know there's over 2.2 million gotaways. How many of them came from countries sponsoring terror? What price you put on the thousands of angel moms and dads who their children were buried by their parents because their children were killed by someone that's not supposed to be here? There's a lot of cost factor. But let me say this. This would be an expensive operation, but in the long run, it would be a huge tax savings on the American people, because right now they're spending billions of dollars on free airline tickets, free hotel rooms, free medical care. Not talking about our education system, our trauma and hospitals, and sir, and that's in perpetuity. And that's in perpetuity.
Well, and to be clear, I understand you'll be making that argument about why you need this money to Congress. I was just curious how much you're guessing it'll cost, because obviously, as you noted, it's going to be expensive. You're going to have to ask Congress for that money. I believe you had told Fox Business $86 billion was the estimate.
$86 billion at a minimum, I said. That's a minimum.
Okay, I was just quoting you. I just want to make sure that we're clear that I was quoting you correctly on what the baseline of that was. But I think in the question... You were
quoting me directly. You were quoting me directly. There was also a question that was asked by a CNN reporter.
Okay, got it. Yeah, obviously this is a huge interest. It's a huge interest to people just in terms of how much it'll cost. But on the numbers, I am curious what your target is, because there are different estimates of how many undocumented immigrants are in the country and you have said everyone is on the table. If it's 11 million people and what that number looks like, what is your goal over the 4 years of the total number of people that you would like to? If you have the number of beds that you would like, if you have the number of ICE deportation officers and others that can help you with that, what is your ultimate number of that deportation that you would like to see when you're done with your job?
I don't have a number. We want to arrest as many people as we can that are in the country illegally, again, based on prioritization. We want to arrest every criminal, every gang member that's here illegally that's a public safety threat. We want to arrest every fugitive, those who had due process at great taxpayer expense and have an ordered deportation but didn't leave and became a fugitive. We got over 1.5 million of those. And look, we got millions of people here illegally. I've said if you're here illegally, you're not off the table. I mean, it's a violation of law. It's a crime to enter this country illegally. And after we give you due process, but you don't have a number that you'd like to see. An immigration judge.
1 year from tonight, you don't have a number that you'd like to say this many people have been deported on my watch.
No, I don't have a number. I want to arrest as many people as we can with the resources we have. Want to be the most efficient we can based on prioritization. There's no limit.
Mr. Tom Homan, I've got a few more questions for you. If you'll stick with us, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, just a few moments.